quality management, but it's not really as strict as total quality management for, let's say, manufacturing companies. Since we're a hotel, we have services and we have products. So for us, quality management is basically ensuring that our products and services are above standards, above guest expectations, and it's ensuring that the processes that we have in the hotel, the processes that the staff undergoes are the most efficient possible processes that deliver more than what the guests expect. And we have to ensure that whatever we have should be sustainable. So we review all of the results that we get, performance, products, and we make sure that whatever we do, we can continue on improving. We do practice quality management. That's why we have, there's actually a department in the hotel that focuses on quality alone. So that's my department. The whole company has a section also dedicated to quality improvement. So we have a head office in Hong Kong. They manage all the quality improvement policies, processes, and managers worldwide. Tools, we have a lot of tools that we use. The most basic, I think, that I can give you right now probably would be the six-step problem-solving process. We do it's like a time and motion study. So it's called a dial. It's a day in a life, because like I said, we offer services as well. So to understand the processes that the people go through, the colleagues, the staff, we have to understand what they really do. So yeah, we have ORC survey. So every single guest that checks in, that gives us an email address, we send out a survey to them. We do flow charts, all the basic stuff related to quality. Actually, we do it because in the hotel, we have core project teams. So they're like focus groups. So I and the hotel manager, we actually manage these groups. So all the key areas in the hotel has a specific group who meets at least once a month, and then we discuss. So the problems based on the results of the survey and the feedback that we get from guests, we discuss possible solutions, the root causes, and then we use the tools depending on what we think is best for a specific scenario that we have. So we could use flow charting, we could use dial, anything actually under like the quality scope to help us better understand. If we're not currently using it, we can study it and then help the people understand what it is. The company, the brand, I think started during I think mid-2009. Paul Roa, he's the director for quality improvement for all Shangri-La hotels, came into the company in 2009. So started around 2009, but for us here at Makati Shangri-La, they officially had a quality improvement manager in 2011. So that was the first time. But before that, of course, we were practicing it already, but not as structured as when they started having a quality improvement manager. So implementation of quality management in the hotel is basically, it has a lot of parts, but it mostly revolves around coordination with the different departments involved. So like I said, we have core project teams. So the core project teams and I, with upper management, we're the people who actually discuss the ideas, the solutions, the root causes. Once we've discussed already, we involve the trainers so that they can share whatever we've discussed, and then they're the ones who monitor and implement not only the trainers, they're the department heads also. And then there are certain people involved with quality as well. So they're called quality ambassadors. This could be the department heads or supervisors. They attend the core project team meetings as well. So we just make sure that whatever action steps, whatever solutions we discuss during the meetings, we have certain measures that correspond to the action steps, so that in the end we can measure if the action steps that we're doing are actually effective, so we can monitor if the effectiveness, and then we can either continue doing whatever we started, we could stop doing it, or we could continue on doing it depending on the results. The main reason why we use quality tools is so that we can actually have a more formal and structured approach to our problem-solving process. It helps us understand why certain problems are actually happening and what the best way is to resolve the issues that we have. The tools, any tool actually that anyone uses, is to make things simpler, to make things more organized, and to help everyone else understand where you're coming from, why you're doing things. So I guess that's why we started using the tools. And it's also a means to like see where everything started. You have documentation, and then like any goal, it's important to measure that how effective your action steps are, how effective your decisions have been. So that's basically what we used the QI tools for. And then it helps you understand processes better also. Like I said, dial. We have mystery shops also. We do that here in the hotel. So these are tools that help us understand what goes on in operations. It helps us understand guest perception of our services, of our products. Quality tools that we have, because we use so many tools, not all are as effective as another, but the main tools that we use, the 6-step, flow charting, dial observations, the Ritchie audits, one-question surveys, we have that also. They've been very effective. All of these, most of the tools that we have help us understand guest perspective. We also have surveys for colleagues, helps us understand how satisfied our colleagues are with our current processes, how colleague-friendly our systems are, and if everything internally is well-placed, if all the colleagues are satisfied with the processes, then it helps them satisfy our external customers more as well. Important because, of course, no matter what type of service or what type of product you provide, you want your guests to keep coming back for more of that service or that product. What ensures this guest loyalty? Of course, high quality products and high quality service. So it's important to make sure that you understand where your guests' dissatisfaction or satisfaction is coming from, to make sure that whatever your processes are, whatever your products and services are, meet or exceed what your guests expect. So it ensures long-term success, because that's why we study whatever it is we're studying right now. It's not for the day only, it's for the future success of the company. Because whatever figures we actually have right now, that's past already. You can't do anything about it. Survey results, flow charting results, observation results. Those are results. So whatever you can do with the data that we have, they're actually to benefit the future of the company. For the hotel, since like I said, we have a very broad scope of services and products. Normally for a hotel though, any hotel, most of the problems that you'll find are related to service and hardware. But basically, I think it all boils down to service, because we are a service provider. Everything in the hotel has a specific type of service attached to it. Even the products that we have, food, there's service related to that. And if you look at studies, even if you look online, the thing that affects customer satisfaction the most is anything that's actually service related. Staff attitude wise, staff efficiency wise. If you break down a hotel, you'll have products, you'll have services, you'll have hardware, you'll have food, you'll have management. So anything that's service related, that's where guests react to the most. So I guess even here, it's the same thing. We study, we try to understand what the root causes are. It all boils down to root causes. So you don't just assume. If a guest says, I'm not satisfied with your check-in process, they say, but this complaint only happened once, only one day, 1 month, one time. So you don't create a solution for that right away. You try to understand where the majority, like I said, Pareto principle, 80%, that's the magic number. So you try to understand where most of your problems are coming from, how much it affects guest satisfaction through the survey, and then that's where we try to focus our energies on, because you can't solve every single problem, especially because we have so many services and products. So you try to identify where you can make the most difference in. Evaluation forms. We use a lot of forms, especially because, like I said, we want to understand why things are happening, what the processes are, so we can identify what part of the process we can improve, what part of the processes we can remove, to make things easier for the colleagues and to make things faster, so that's better for the guests as well. So this one, the thing that we showed you earlier, it's actually a form that we use when we do the dial observation practice I mentioned earlier. So everything that the colleague does, we write it down here, and then we try to identify if the action that the colleague did for a certain length of time. So it's like an evaluation form as well, because at the end of the day, after the 40 hours of observation for a certain position, you can identify how much of this certain position's time is productive, how much is not productive, and why is it not productive. We have a certain set of practices that we have to adhere by 100%. They're called the Shangri-La Experience Standards. So that's one of the things that actually make our service different also from other hotels in the area. Everything in the Shangri-La Experience checklist, part of the Shangri-La Experience Standard, are the things that the little details that actually make our service different. If you're working at the front desk, you're expected to acknowledge the guest like from 10 feet away, and then 5 feet you actually give verbal acknowledgement already, things like that. So there's a list that we can go through to see how much of our colleagues are actually doing everything based on our standards. The biggest difference that you'll see, and I think you can verify, no? Even if you look at, let's say, online survey sites, it's mostly the warmth of the service that you get from the Shangri-La. It's really different. There's a different level of, let's say, satisfaction that you receive. The genuine feeling that you get from the service of the colleagues at the Shangri-La, it's really different. Nothing that the Shangri-La colleague does will come out as scripted or not warm. We take good care of our colleagues. Everything, we have a lot of training programs for them. This ensures efficiency. We also have a lot of programs for colleague satisfaction. So we have birthday parties for our colleagues. We have like get-togethers. We have staff parties. Everything to actually make you feel like you belong to the company. There are a lot of awards that we can actually relate to quality management. No, we get service awards. I think the most recent that we had was best service, I think, in Asia, from TripAdvisor. Anything that's service related, or let's say hygiene related, that's quality related. Because all of these actually focus on product and service quality. The very first thing that I can think of, no, from the top of my mind lang, is it's a very recent policy that we have. It's related to reporting, recording, and resolving issues. We have a written policy regarding that, so that colleagues, no matter what level they are, if you're a frontliner, if you're an administration staff, you know what to do with feedback that you get from guests. To make the tools as effective as we can make them, we need the help of everyone. So to ensure that everyone understands their roles, to understand what we expect from them, we created the policy on handling guest feedback and how to relate that to quality by means of the Earth Cube. We also have forms for the 6-step process. It's not something that you usually use a form for, no, because it's like a process of thinking. It's a way of solving problems. So if you're with a very large group, the forms help us actually break down the process, and then it helps us focus the discussions more. So this is just a sample of the form that we have. Ishikawa method, so fishbone. The fishbone diagram, we also use that. We really use a lot of tools, but it really depends on what you're trying to solve, what you're trying to find out. Benchmarking, it helps us share whatever best practices or ideas that we benchmark from our competitors in the area, from sister companies, and then we share that and how effective it was for us to the other QI people, to the other leaders as well. So for example, I ate at a certain restaurant and I noticed them doing something really good that I think we can apply to the hotel. During our core project team meetings, I can suggest we do this certain practice as well. So that's a benchmark practice already. At the end of the day, anything that you do, you should have measurements for them. So after we implement a certain practice that we copied or we benchmark, we wait for a certain period of time so that we can see if the results, if the actions actually improved our performance, our services. Now dial, it's another tool that we use. It means day in the life, you just observe everything that the colleague goes through so that you can see if the process that the colleague is actually going through is the most efficient, so that you can all see what area to focus on, what area to improve on. So do you need to change the layout of the workplace? Do you need to improve communication within the team, because maybe a lot of your colleagues are doing the same thing already. Because flowcharting just helps you understand the entire process, and then you identify problem areas. We call them bombs here. Normally you can use it after the dial. For example, you see a problem, a cause of your non-productive time is poor planning or inefficient systems. So you observe a certain employee, or you sit down with employees in the same position, and then you understand what they do. So first, for example, a guest approach. What do? You acknowledge the guest, you check, you greet the guest, and then ask the guest, do you have a booking, or is this a walk-in reservation? So every single thing, every single possibility, you have to understand. And where does the employee experience the most difficulty in the process? So do they have effective machines? Is it a delay caused by the computers? Is it a delay caused by training, insufficient training? So those are the things that we can identify. Because right now we're trying to work on not being only like theoretical. We're trying to incorporate quality into operations as well. So we do a lot of observations right now. So this is a sample of the form that I use. So you go around, you pick a certain area that you want to focus on, and then you observe. So any negative observations, any positive observations, and then you don't only focus on the things that they do, you also focus on hardware, you also focus on standards, and then at the end of the day, after you observe, you send out to management so that they can resolve right away also.